don't know which comedy book to choose. Which comedy to choose? Comedy. Tricky. Oh, that's a good one. Alright. This'll do. Lemony Snicket. A series of unfortunate events. Number 1, The Bad Beginning or Orphans. To Beatrice, darling, dearest, dead. The Bad Beginning. Chapter 1. Sorry. If you are interested in stories with happy endings, you'd be better off reading some other book. In this book, not only is there no happy ending, there is no happy beginning, very few happy things in the middle. This is because... Why is it because? This is because not very many happy things happened in the lives of the 3 Baudelaire youngsters. Excuse me. Violet Kloss and Sonny Baudelaire, were intelligent children. They were charming and resourceful and had pleasant facial features, but they were extremely unlucky. And most everything that happened to them was rife with misfortune, misery, and despair. I'm sorry to tell you this, but that is how the story goes. Their misfortune began one day in Bruni Beach. The 3 Baudelaire children lived with their parents in an enormous mansion at the heart of a dirty, busy city. Occasionally their parents gave them permission to take a rickety trolley. Word rickety, you probably know here means unsteady or likely to collapse, alone to the seashore, where they would spend the day as a sort of vacation as long as they were home for dinner. This particular morning was grey and cloudy, which didn't bother the Baudelaire youngsters one bit. When it was hot and sunny, Briny Beach was crowded with tourists, and it was possible to find a good place to lay one's blanket. On grey and cloudy days, the Baudelaires had the beach themselves to do what they liked. Violet Baudelaire, the eldest, liked to skip rocks. Like most 14-year-olds, she was right-handed, so the rocks skipped further across the murky water when Violet, used her right hand than when she used her left. As she skipped rocks, she was looking out at the horizon and thinking about an invention she wanted to build. Anyone who knew Violet well could tell she was thinking hard because her long hair was tied up in a ribbon to keep it out of her eyes. Violet had a real knack for inventing and building strange devices, so her brain was often filled with images of pulleys, levers, and gears, and she never wanted to be distracted by something as trivial as her hair. This morning she was thinking about how to construct a device that could retrieve a rock after he had skipped it into the ocean. Klaus Baudelaire, the middle child and the only boy, liked to examine creatures in tide pools. Klaus was a little older than 12 and wore glasses, which made him look intelligent. He was intelligent. The Baudelaire parents had an enormous library in their mansion, a room. Phone, little battery. The Baudelaire parents had an enormous library in their mansion, a room full of thousands of books on nearly every subject. Being only 12, Klaus, of course, had not read all of the books in the Baudelaire library, but he had read a great many of them and had retained from a crocodile. He knew who killed about the tiny, slimy animals found at Brittany Beach, which he was examining now. Sunny Baudelaire, the youngest, liked to bite things. She was infant and very small for her age, scarcely larger than a boot. What she lacked in size, however, she made up for with the size and sharpness of her 4 teeth. Sunny was at an age where mostly speaks in a series of unintelligent shrieks, except when she used a few actual words in her vocabulary like bottle, mummy, and bite. Most people had trouble understanding what it was that Sunny was saying. For instance, this morning she was saying "gack" over and over, which probably meant look at that mysterious figure emerging from the fog. Sure enough, in the distance, along the misty shore of Brittany Beach, there could be seen a tall figure striding toward the Baudelaire children. Sunny had already been staring and shrieking at the figure for some time when Klaus looked up from the spinny crab he was examining and saw it too. He reached over and touched Violet's bringing her out of her inventing thoughts. Look at that, Klaus said and pointed toward the figure.